And with that, we've got, and the next item agenda is legal. And this is I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to approve a supplementary appropriation in the amount of $75,000 to come from contingency to be placed in legal other expenses. 1041390053101.
Second.
Okay, thank you, Randy and John, for coming up here. Just to give a little background, there has been a significant amount of legal work this year, from litigation matters to contract matters, and we've got to replenish that budget. The biggest one being standard has been a big draw on us, but the way I look at it, that's an investment. We're litigating that case so that we could hopefully receive that money back. But I don't want to steal your thunder. Randy and John, please take it away.
Oh, not a lot of thunder, Mayor. Just wanted to brief you on the reason for this. Those of you who know me, most of you know me for the last 14 years here, is that we husband very well our legal budget. What happened here is a situation that arose out of the demolition of Century Brass. Nobody's fault, except what we believe would be the former contractor. That litigation is a highly technical undertaking. The reason for it is because it's not only legal driven, but it's expert driven. So the fact is that the budget that is necessary in order to get through this phase of what we're doing is significant. We're in the discovery phase now. I don't want to get into detail unless it's going to be an executive session, because it's determining pending litigation. So the request is for $75,000 for this fiscal year. And in addition to the standard matter, by the way, there was a lot of closure work that had to be done for Century Brass in order to get it ready for demo. So the fact is that the litigation is complex, it is detailed, and it is discovery driven and expert driven. And with that, that's the leading purpose of the necessity for the supplemental appropriation, along with the closure work that had to be done to get it ready. So that's what we're here for. We happy to entertain any questions.
Could we go into executive session to discuss this for a couple minutes?
Can we go into executive session without it being noticed?
Yeah, you can if you do two-thirds.
Two-thirds, all those present.
Okay. Is there anything else that people were to discuss outside of the executive session? Okay, so there's a motion to go into executive session. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. Any discussion on it? Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Three opposed. We got, raise your hands if you're opposed, like Frank, Mr. Bear, Mr. Chamberlain, and Ms. Lundgren. So the motion fails. Mr. Szymanski.
So how much has been spent on the closure work today?
Oh, the closure work and the litigation?
Nope, just closure work.
The closure work, I don't know.
I believe it's in the vicinity of around 15,000.
Okay.
And that was work that was done in connection with you might remember the Panda power plant, but the closure work was something that we view as would be necessary to convey any portion of that property in the future.
Okay, so that was associated
All or any
with
portion.
making it ready for conveyance.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and again, even if it's partitioned or the entirety, that closure work is a prerequisite to doing that.
If we held on to the property, would we need to do that?
Well, because as I understood it, a portion is considered for private acquisition, but if we held on to the entirety, the ownership would never change, and so you wouldn't necessarily need to go through the RCRA closure process. But I would say that the town, even if it retains ownership for a long period of time, I would think you'd want to clean property for saleability.
There's no way I would not recommend doing the closure work, irrespective of whether we owned it or we're going to sell it, because we want the property to be in a position, the best possible position. Strictly necessary, no, but recommended, yeah.
Now, when we initially wanted to go into litigation with standard, I had expressed a concern relative to the costs associated with the litigation. How much have we spent to date?
To date on standard itself, this fiscal year, 110,000.
No. Total.
Both. I think it's in the vicinity of 135.
135,000.
And that includes
Both fiscal years.
And the 75,000 is going to cover which portion of the litigation? Just
Well-
the discovery aspect with our experts, not
It's-
the trial?
No, it's not through trial.
What do we anticipate that would be?
It's hard to anticipate that.
We don't have a trial date yet, and that's gonna be driven by the progress of the discovery.
And we're going after them for how much money?
Our damage estimate is 1.5 million. And they have a counterclaim asserted against the town.
And I noticed there's still a lot of, maybe you guys can't answer it, but there's still a lot of steel out there. Do we know when that's getting removed?
It's right on the possible of an EPA approval for removal for recycling.
Okay. There's no extra budget requirements for that, okay?
I believe that would be actually, if the EPA approves its removal, which is a consequence of testing just recently done, it would result in a credit to the town that may enable them to be doing further work towards a clean site.
Sure.
So then they could put that towards the slab work maybe that we were going to get back from standard, which we don't have yet.
Two things, it might be put forward, some sub-slab dirty dirt that's been encountered underneath the slab, or alternatively chasing what are called the drain lines. Drain lines are sub-slab, they're within the footprint of that property, and they are possibly leaked and may need to be excavated and chased within the footprint of that to make it clean.
So the slab removal did not include the foundation wall removal then, because I noticed that's still there?
Yeah, it's my understanding that the slab removal is not inclusive of the footings, and I think I don't know if it's gonna get cut down to grade.
Yeah, that was
foundation
my
walls.
question.
I was curious about the same thing. I believe it may not be cut down to grade. It may be sitting there in its current confine without further funding.
Actually, we don't know that.
I don't know that.
We don't know that it's gonna.
That's why I believe, but I could be wrong.
So if you could get us clarity, if you could just write an email to the mayor that could circulate to us.
Oh,
You know
Or
what
is
we'll do
there
next
someone else
time?
that could answer?
We haven't had an update in a while, and we did find a time capsule when we went through the Century Brass property. So maybe at the May meeting, I could bring TRC in here and Mike and anybody else associated with it to give an update on it, and maybe it'll be a good opportunity to open up the time capsule too, see what's in there. So I'll schedule that for, I think it'll be the May meeting. All right.
So we don't know then what, like, say it goes to trial, right? And based on the level of complicated nature, the technical nature of the matter, if we had to venture a guess at the trial.
You
same
know
as-
me. I can't venture that, guys. Because of the necessity of experts and things of that nature.
yeah.
We don't
Would
know.
it be fair to say it's the amount we've spent so far?
I don't know about that. It could be. It could be, depending upon the
Okay.
expert. Sure.
Thank you.
You know what they say to all of your witnesses, don't speculate, right, Randy?
That's exactly right.
You gotta take a guess if you don't know. But we're definitely, we're aggressively pursuing it. John is very much on top of it. We have difficult adversaries, but we wouldn't have brought the case if we weren't all on board and thought that we were, in the right for it. So look forward to that. Mr. Bass.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, John and Randy. From someone that's not an attorney, does this company have the ability to countersue?
Oh, yes. Yeah.
And they have.
They have.
And they have.
They have.
And how much have they countersued for?
Same thing.
Same amount.
Essentially the same amount.
They claim a lost profit, and then other kinds of damages that they say they would be entitled to if they had been able to perform the whole job, and I think it's in the vicinity of 1.5.
I know a lot of times when you come before us as the town attorney, you specify a lot of times either the judge or jury and control usually go half and half. They cut the baby in half, so to speak. Is that something that would be deemable in a case like this?
I think you know what you're referring to? I think you're referring like to tax appeals, things of that nature. And many times trial courts do that in a tax appeal. This is not that type of a case. This is a different type of a case. It's a high stakes litigation case. And we have a judge that is assigned to this case through conclusion. So it's serious. It's being taken seriously by a judicial branch. So it's not something that you could really put a formula to, if you will.
So it's not like the judge can say, both you parties go figure it out and come back.
Well, not this one.
Okay.
Not this one. This one is go beat each other up and then see what happens with the jury.
Good question.
Sure.
Randy, is this on the complex litigation docket?
No, it is not. We kept it in Litchfield.
On purpose. Sorry,
You know
I
what I'm
can still
saying?
your
No, but he knows what I'm talking about,
Yes,
for a reason.
thank you.
Fair enough. All right, any more discussion? All in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.